Good morning. Today is May 2nd, 1964, and I'm Mike Hayes.
I'm Alvarez, Dobrusin.
Today we have a special on the Democratic Republic of the Congo and their fight for independence. It all started in 1879 when King Leopold II of Belgium commissioned the explorer Henry Stanley to establish the King's authority in the Congo Basin, which was recognized by European powers. Leopold then announced the establishment of the Congo Free State. Millions of Congolese are said to have been killed or worked to death during Leopold's control of the territory. Control then began to slip, and in 1955, Belgian professor Antoine van Bilsen published a 30-year plan for granting the Congo increased self-government. And in 1959, Belgium lost most control in the Congo following serious nationalist riots in Leopoldville.
Hello, my name is Michael Hayes, and this is a special on nationalism in the Congo. Hello, Patrice. So can you tell us a little bit about the party you created and what its goal was?
Well, I launched the Congolese national movement, also called the Mouvement National Congolais, which was the first Congolese political party and focused on freeing the Congo from Belgian colonization.
What was the next step after creating the party to free the Congo?
Well, the next step for us was to grow the support in nationalism. We wanted the people to believe that we could be free of these invaders in our land.
In December 1959, the Belgian government announced a plan that was intended to lead to independence for the Congo, starting with local elections. Your party boycotted these elections. Why so?
We boycotted these elections because we felt as though the people elected would have no control, essentially being puppets to the government of Belgium.
After being imprisoned for inciting riots that occurred on October 30th, how did the party change its views and the direction in which it was headed?
Well, during my imprisonment, we realized that the Belgian government meant what they were saying, and the party decided to enter into the elections that we were boycotting earlier.
So, your party won these elections by a landslide. What was the next step in achieving independence?
After the elections, the Belgian government held a conference in which many African political parties attended. At this conference, it was finally decided that the Congo would be free from the Belgian rule as of June 30th, 1960.
Thank you, Patrice, for your time.
So, Mr. Kasavubu, how did your rise to power start?
Well, I started with Patrice Lumumba. Him and I were sort of safe partners in freeing the Congo. We both worked for Belgium to release hold on the Congo.
So, what started the split between you two that eventually led to you ousting him from the Prime Minister position in the newly free Congo?
Well, in July, after the elections, the Congolese army mutinied and began an uprising, and that started up conflicts with the Belgians because their citizens were being in danger. The United Nations Security Council also could not help, so Patrice went and asked the USSR to help, and that's where we felt he needed to leave because we did not want help from the USSR.
After he left, how did the government change?
Well, it did not change too much until September, when Colonel Joseph Mobutu, who was head of the army, took control. He dismissed me, and this is when we knew the army really successfully overthrew the government.
Looking back, do you think it would have been better if you let Lumumba get help from the USSR?
Well, I feared that if the USSR came to help us, we would have held a debt to them, and I also feared them since we had bad experiences with Belgium, and the same thing could have happened with the USSR. Although I do believe they would have suppressed the army, I think it would have been bad in the long run for the country.
After about 3 years of power struggles and the UN could finally help, you regained control from Cantonese soldiers. Why did you decide to appoint a former enemy of yours, Moise Tshombe?
I decided this because he gave in and agreed to end Katanga's secession. I was also desperate for a prime minister because Patrice was killed a few years before.
After clashing with Moise Tshombe, eventually Mobutu regained control of the government. Did you feel defeated at this point?
At this point, I felt as though the country had been through too much power changes in the last 4 years, and I thought it was finally time for me to stop fighting and give in.
Thank you, Mr. Kasavubu, for your time with us.